Thank you for joining us, everybody. We're going to get our show started in just a couple of seconds here. Want to remind everybody, if you could just share this broadcast. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate it because it would help us get more views and make the show a lot more exciting for live interaction. So please, don't forget to share the broadcast. We also appreciate all of your likes and comments. Thank you so much for tuning in, and get ready for Spit The Wit! Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you to this show that was entirely produced and developed by the people sitting in front of you. Jessy Meadows and Frankie Almost. Brought to you in part by Rolling Hills Productions. Live from Las Vegas, Nevada, this is Spit The Wit! Jessy, if you would be so kind, would you please tell us what today's show's about?
Okay, guys, we had a last-minute cancellation. We have a guest on the show, a last-minute guest, save the day. Please like and share. We're going to be kind of working out the kinks and just working through some technical difficulties.
And now, here is your host, Frankie Almost!
Wow. As I said, I don't think that we can actually... Am I too loud on your headphones? Okay. Oh, okay. I apologize, everybody. We've had a couple of kinks. As you know, live TV is not always, smooth. So, thank you for saving me with the word, because I drew a blank. But anyway, I don't think we can live up to that introduction of that thing, man. It sounds like it's like this pro wrestling thing. And then here we are, just a couple of dickheads.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages.
A couple of dickheads just sitting in the studio. Okay, so I'm going to turn it over to Jess real quick, and we're going to introduce our guest here, our secret guest. We're not going to do that yet, but after Jess tells her thing and I save this, share this is what I'm trying to say, on a couple of pages, we're going to get to our guest and get the show rolling. So bear with us while we get started. Thank you for joining. Okay, Jess, whenever you're ready.
Okay, so I just have a little story that might be kind of boring to everybody, but I mentioned the Mandela effect on our first show, and the reason why I thought of it was because of my pendant. Frankie got this for me for my birthday, off Etsy, and it's from Ireland. It was made in Ireland, by a lady named Sylvia Tibble. And she has Over the Glass Hill is her Etsy shop. So she made it custom for me. And Ireland is really special to me because my mom was obsessed with anything and everything that had to do with Ireland. And she died in 2011. So it's pretty special to me. And then the chain is an antique chain. It's from the 1960s. And I love antiques. I love everything of mine pretty much to be an antique, as much as I can do that's reasonable, because I love feeling the energy on different objects. It's really weird to me. I don't really know how to describe what happens when I feel something or touch something. It's very strange, but I like it.
Are you saying that you're like getting some kind of psychic vibe? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, a little bit. Like when
Okay. We don't want to scare everybody away that quick.
So, I think most people these days are pretty open to this stuff, though.
I think they are too, and I'm just, of course I'm always being the humorous one, so I'm not knocking what you're saying, because I do believe in energy and stuff like that too. Speaking of energy, we got a guy with a lot of good energy in here, has a lot of friends and fans all around Vegas, just kind of stormed into Vegas one day a few years ago and kind of took over. Some of you might know him. He's over there laughing at me. So he runs a company called Fatbeard Studios, and I'm sure some of you that are watching this know who I'm talking about. It is Danny Ballard. Welcome, Danny Ballard, to the studio. Let me turn the camera on you. Oh, yeah, and the crowd goes wild for Danny Ballard. Here we go. Let's transition over to you. Oh. Like I said.
Why do that?
So what we need you to do, Danny, when you do talk, is we're going to have you talk into the microphone so we can hear you. I'm fortunate enough to have 2 microphones on me.
I like this. It covers my face.
Well, so did something else, and I was wondering what happened to your beard, man.
All right, so I had a heart attack in September, like 5 days after I turned 37.
Like a full-blown heart attack?
It was like a mild heart attack, but it was hard. I was on an airplane. I'll explain it. So, but I just
Okay.
so I should have started off like because this was take 2. Sorry.
No, that's fine.
So on August 5th, the day Suicide Squad came out. So the Thursday before movies come out, they release them at all the casinos at like 7 o'clock at night.
Right.
So they don't do those midnight releases anymore. So you can just go and watch. You know, really, I mean, you can just show up and watch a movie now the day before it comes out. So my buddy Dale, that you know, and
Dale.
my oldest son, and then we went to go see Suicide Squad, right?
Okay.
And then the next morning, and that caused an argument with the girl I was seeing at the time, which I don't want to get into. So, but the next day I was like, you know what, fuck this. I broke up with her,
Right.
and my friend Elena, who's like a hairdresser, like I posted a thing on Facebook, like today's the day I'm gonna cut the beard off, and just because I felt like a change, you know what I mean?
Okay.
But really, I half-assed it. I hedged my bet because I didn't like if I was a man about it, I'd have shaved it right then and there. Because as you can see now, I'm shaved.
Right.
But like I had Elena cut it, and she cut it like originally. I was like, hey, cut it like the way it was like 2 years prior. You know, like it looked like this logo basically.
Nice.
And you know, I was a little high, and she cuts my hair and she cuts my beard, and we tie it up and everything, and she cuts it, and it was you know, I look like it was like different. It was so dramatically different. I don't know, even though I still had a beard, it was weird.
So
and I kept the thing. I kept it. It's at my. I should have fucking brought it.
Yeah.
It's literally like it's like a foot long. It's literally a foot long, like because she tied it off,
Wow.
and then she cut it. And then, like, well, I always kept it. I don't know if you remember, but I always kept like a little tie on the end of it to help point it.
Okay, yeah.
Like a wizard, you know.
Yeah.
And so when she tied it up here and cut it, she cut it above the tie, and the thing stayed tied. And I kept it. It was crazy. So, anyways, so then, but then I had a heart. So I cut to the heart attack.
Yeah.
And you know, like my beard grows like really fast. So even though like Elena cut it kind of short, like with the logo, it was already like I'd say probably like right to here.
Okay.
You know? So it's still pretty decent size. You
Okay.
know? Like covered my neck.
Right.
You know
Right.
what I mean?
Okay.
Or the double chin rather. And I was on a plane. I found out later why I had the heart attack, and I can get into that later if you want. But basically, I had a heart attack. There's a dude, Donnie from Oklahoma City. I love you, brother, wherever you are. I never got your contact info. You fucking saved my life. If you're watching this somehow or whatever, fucking hit me up, you know?
Wow.
Yeah, no, straight up. Because this
Okay.
dude saved my fucking life.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then what we need to do is we need to hear your story because this is compelling, and then
Okay.
there's a hero involved, and so instantly this becomes newsworthy. You see? Okay, so walk us through it. What exactly happened here?
All right, man. So I was dating this chick who, like, you know, super.
Shall remain nameless.
Yeah, super hot chick.
Okay.
Way the fuck out of my league. Like, you know, like smoking hot.
Right.
And I managed to fuck it up. And like that was the chick I was talking about that I broke up with.
Okay.
Over fucking Suicide Squad over some stupid shit. So anyway, so my birthday is September 20th. All right.
Okay.
All right. So like I broke up with her, but then like we did that shit all the time. People who know me know that like who I'm talking about. They fucking know we broke up a million times.
Right.
So we kind of got back together.
Okay.
But she was doing this ninjutsu female shit that women do. Y'all are evil. So like, because like I know I'm better off without her, right? But she got me basically we got back together just so she could be the one to break up with me. Fuck with my mind.
Right.
So I was like, and she did it fucking 3 days before my birthday.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I've had one of those before.
So I was just in a bad headspace, man. So I had this app on my phone called Skip Lag, which I fucking highly recommend. I'm sorry, I cuss a lot. I don't know if you gotta,
We're kind of PG-13, but we're letting you get away with it.
I'll try to.
We've known you a long time, so we'll just filter it a little bit.
Yeah, I'll try to dial it back. So where was I?
You were talking about Skip Lag.
Skip Lag. I love this app. Basically, what it does is, you put in like where you want to go, and it finds the cheapest route, but it does it like very clever. Like, so you know how like you get a connecting flight. Let's say I want to go to Florida from here, but for some reason it takes me to like Atlanta or some shit.
Right.
And then and then it'll take you there, but you have like a layover.
Okay.
Well, let's say I'm here and I just want to go to Atlanta. It's actually cheaper to buy the damn ticket to Florida with the layover in Atlanta than it is to buy a ticket straight to Atlanta.
Interesting.
And this app checks that kind of stuff. It's really awesome.
That is cool.
So anyways, so I found like a airline. So I went to 4 different high schools. I've lived in like 10 different states. I wasn't an Army brat or anything. I just think my parents were probably criminals or something. and we, I kind of just check. Like I have like a handful of states I'll check. You know what I mean? Like because Vegas is kind of a hub and tickets can be really cheap. So I went to high school my junior year at Putnam City West in Oklahoma City. And my buddy Jacob had just moved out there. Jacob with the 80s Kids. Shout out to Jacob. We did a bunch of cool shit.
Oh yeah.
And then which you can see at fatbeard.vegas. www.
You know what's funny is that's the one time you looked at the camera and the one time that I didn't have it on you.
God damn it!
Do that again. Do your little plug again, sir.
Oh, and that's it. www.fatbeard.vegas.
Nice. Okay.
All right. Okay. So, damn it, you threw me off.
Wait, we were talking about the 80s kids.
Okay, yeah. So I checked like North Carolina, I checked Texas, I checked Seattle, I checked Oklahoma. Oklahoma had to be the cheapest, man. It was, I can't remember. I could look it up, but it was under $100. It was really fucking cheap.
Right.
So, and it was super short notice because I went like the day after my birthday because my headspace was where I was at was like, I've been in Vegas at that time like 6.5 years.
Right.
I'd spent 4.5 of them with that chick, and it was just like a really just toxic relationship.
Yeah, I hear you.
And I needed to decompress. I needed to get the fuck out of Vegas, But I have like very small windows because I have kids and I have joint cut. Like I have 4 kids. I have 2 girls, 2 boys. I have full.
Wow.
I have full. Yeah, we can get into that later.
Yeah.
I got 2. I have full custody of my 2 boys.
Okay.
So at the time I had, he's 18 now, but I had a 17-year-old and a 9-year-old, and so to leave town was like, or a 10-year-old, sorry. So to leave town was like, I had to time, shit had to be timed just right, because every other weekend they went to their moms. So I just went out there for like a weekend, the weekend of the 25th. Okay. And then while I was out there, because I can't seem to get away from shit, and I should have left my phone in Vegas, is what I should have done. So the ex and I, we got into a little, like, text shit. I got like a little emotional, right? And this is right before I'm getting on the plane. And I later found out that I have, or I had, really, really thick blood combined with low cholesterol, which actually is a thing because you need cholesterol for your blood to move through your body. Right. And so you have low cholesterol and really thick, sludgy blood, it's a recipe for disaster. Then you get up in a plane. I was already kind of freaking out a little, not freaking out, but I was upset. I've been crying maybe. So
yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. So anyway, so I'm on this plane and like about maybe 30-45 minutes up into it, like whenever they start bringing out the refreshments and shit, because this is when this happened. So the lady comes by, and I'm kind of at the back of the plane, and the lady comes by with a tray of drinks and stuff. And she does like a double take on me. And I'm in a row by myself, which is probably why the ticket was so damn cheap. I'm in a row by myself, and I'm sitting at the window because I'm kind of like I'm kind of a kid at heart. I like the window seat. Right. So I'm sitting there and I'm kind of looking out the window, but like I guess the way I'm sitting, I'm not like kind of aware,
consciously aware of it. Right. Okay.
So I guess I'm like holding my chest. And I'm kind of like the way I guess I must look like shit because so the lady goes, "Oh my God, are you okay?" Like I was looking at her.
For a stranger to even call you out, yeah.
So I was like, I don't know. So I'm like, I start thinking about it. I'm like, I'm a big guy, whatever. I'm like, maybe I got gas, like, maybe you got any ginger ale? She's like, yeah. So she gives me, didn't even charge me, sweet lady.
Nice.
I can't remember what airline it was, but if I did, I'd give you props. So she gives me ginger ale, and then she goes off, and you know how like later, then another lady comes with like a bag to take all the trash, right?
Okay, yeah.
All right, so that lady comes by, she does a double take, and she's like, here, I think you need this, and she gives me the bag. That she was getting trash out of, or like
she could see that you were getting sick to your stomach.
I guess, but I didn't feel like I was getting sick, right?
Wow.
So, So then I don't know how much time passes, but a lady behind me, because you know how like they have stewardesses that sit like at the front and at the back,
Yeah.
or flight attendants, I guess is the PC term now. So so I guess there was a flight attendant who'd been kind of. I'd later found out she'd just been keeping an eye on me, you know.
Right. Okay.
And she comes over with oxygen.
Holy crap, dude.
Yeah, and she's like, "Here, I want you to start breathing this." And then a different flight attendant gets on the PA and was like, "Hey, are there any medical professionals on board?" And this one chick comes over, says she's a nurse. It was bless her heart. She was like, it was funny. So she comes over and she starts to take my blood pressure because they had like a couple things, I guess on the plane, like the flight attendants already have like a stethoscope.
Oh, some kind of utensils.
So, she had a stethoscope and a blood pressure cuff.
Okay.
And she came over and she takes my vitals. And this chick had like zero bedside manner, dude. She's like, "This is really high. I don't think this is right." And the stewardess is like kind of hunched over her, kind of like in
so
concern.
now it's freaking you out, right?
And, no, it's like she's like, no, but she goes like, "It's like 220 over 180. That's impossible." And his pulse is like 223. She had like real southern accent.
Oh my god!
And I'm thinking, oh my god, I'm gonna die because I know that I know about the thick blood thing, but I wasn't thinking about it at the time.
Right.
Because I've been trying to get a therapeutic phlebotomy because I was on testosterone. Because, I'm fat, I have bitch tits, they give you lots of estrogen, so I was low on testosterone. I had to take testosterone.
Okay.
And that's what makes your blood thick. So you have to do what's called a therapeutic phlebotomy, and basically they take your blood out, and then they put the plasma back in, and then they toss your blood because they don't want to give your fat blood to anybody, which is kind of fucked up. So,
Right.
But because they don't get to keep your blood, going to those donor places to do it, they're really freaking particular, man. And it's been like 3-4 different times I tried to do it. And like I just was really dumb. I shouldn't have been flying. It just was like a super last minute thing. Man. So anyway, so I kind of knew like when she starts talking those numbers because I know those numbers are really freaking high.
That's outrageous, dude.
And she's like, would the air pressure affect? And she's like, and the stewardess literally looks at her like she's a dumbass. She's like, well, the cabin's pressurized, so I doubt it. And then a dude like from the back that looked like, I don't know, it was like.
Is this
I used to watch news. This is Donnie.
Enters the Hero?
This is Donnie.
Okay.
Yeah. So Donnie's got a bow tie on. Donnie's a black fella. He's probably like 22, 23, maybe. I don't know. Or, black don't crack. He could have been 30. I have no idea. But I thought he was young.
Okay.
And he had a bow tie on and like a sports jacket and a white shirt. And he had his own fucking bag because he was an EMT.
Oh, wow.
And my buddy Burke, nerdfarmblog.com. My buddy Burke is also a firefighter EMT, and I forget what he said. He called those like Randy Rangers or some shit. I can't remember what he called them, but he says they actually have a name for those kind of dudes that do that. So he came, he had his bag, he dismisses this chick that's clearly out of her element, and he starts like talking to me, and he's like, "Dude, I love you, man. You gotta find me." He was just like, because I was kind of at that point, I was like. And like this chick is telling me my shit's high, and like I'm freaking out. I think I'm gonna die, right? And I just like so internally, I'm probably having a panic attack or whatever.
Right.
And,
on top of everything.
On top of everything else.
Right.
And so the dude starts talking to me. He's like, "Hey man, like if I could try to get you to." He's trying to help me with my breathing. You know what I mean? So he starts breathing slowly. He's like, match my breathing. And like, so he got me breathing right. And he starts like, and so then he's like, hey, can I take your blood pressure, man? I was like, yeah. So he slips it on. He's like super great bedside. And just kept talking to me. The whole time just kept me talking. Saying stuff, asking me questions. And then so while he's taking my blood pressure, he's like, hey man, why don't you what's up? What are you doing here? Like he was going to Vegas on vacation. And I was going home to Vegas. Okay. But everybody just assumed when you're going to Vegas that you don't live, that you're going on vacation.
Right, you're going to party. Yeah.
So when I'm like, well, I live in Vegas, that's where I'm going back to.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, what the hell are you doing what'd you go to Oklahoma for, So I kind of just like, I unload on this dude. I have like a therapy session.
Oh, really? You talk about the breakup and stuff?
Oh, yeah, man. Wow. I'm fucking crying and shit.
Okay.
It's horrible.
Okay.
And that dude is so cool, man. And so anyways, while we're talking, because he's got good bedside manner, he's like, he goes, like as we're talking, he gets the results of my vitals, and he turns to the stewardess, right, like away from me, so I can't hear him. He says stuff real quiet, and it basically is like, yeah, his blood pressure is like 220 over 180. How much longer until we land? And then the stewardess is like, 45 minutes.
And you're hearing all this?
Yes, but he doesn't think I am, you know. But I keep talking with him, man, because the dude is super cool. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And then, so anyways, so she leaves when they were finished talking. She goes up to the cockpit, right? And he comes back and he talks to me and he's like, hey man, I want to take your blood pressure one more time. And I was like, all right, cool. So then he starts to take my blood pressure again, and that's when it happens. And I'll explain it. I'm going to describe it. I've told this story to so many different
I need to hear this.
Different doctors, man, and people, I guess. So anyway, so right here, take a look at me, Frankie.
I am looking at you right now.
Oh, okay. So like this is what's my ring finger. So I start
pull your finger up into the camera shot. There you go.
So the ring finger here. So when they put the blood pressure cuff on you, it's up here.
Okay.
It's like up here on your shoulder.
Right.
And then so when he's taking my blood pressure, it gets tight. So then your arm starts to tingle anyway.
Right.
So I wasn't noticing it. You know what I mean? So but then so while he's doing it, this finger starts going like this, right?
Oh wow.
It starts going. I guess I have to do it like that. So this finger starts going like this, and it felt fucking weird, man. And then all of a sudden, it shot from here up to my elbow. And when it did that, my elbow and my chest felt like they fucking exploded, and I was frozen in my own body. Is the only way I can describe it. I was aware of everything. I was like in this weird kind of pain, but I was frozen. I couldn't fucking move, and I'm like,
oh my god!
And this dude, like a fucking superhero, just like with the quickness, man. Like it had to be like a fucking split second. Because he'd already put on latex gloves, because this dude was legit. Like he did that, like when he first started talking to me and sitting down and shit, started doing that.
Right.
So he's just like whack. He puts a pill like fucking like a ninja right under my tongue, man.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Nitroglycerin.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I don't know how much time passes, because in my, like it could have been 30 seconds, but it felt like that, And I was like, oh, I got control of my body again,
Right.
And then I fucking immediately threw up, which I'm told is common, actually.
Yeah.
But I still had the beard, because I half-assed my breakup change. I should have just shaved it all off.
Yeah.
So I fucking yak all in my beard and shit.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's horrible, man. It's horrible. I mean, I had the plastic bag. Like
you said, you were in your own aisle, though, right?
Yeah, I was totally,
okay, cool.
totally.
So
like,
nobody else had
to deal with this
that.
shit.
Okay.
Like, so I'm sitting here, like the window's right here. EMT dude, Donnie's like right here. And so I throw up, but this motherfucker cleans out my beard. This was the sweetest man on fucking earth, dude.
Wow.
Yeah, so I had a plastic bag that the lady gave me. I put it up under like my neck, and then he had like a bottle of water, and he had his rubber gloves on, and he just like pouring the water and cleaning out my beard, man. I was
oh my god.
I was like, this restores my fucking hope in humanity, because like most people that know me before I went on my trip, man, I'm a pretty negative fucking dude. I'm pretty pessimistic, I'm like, I've been like life's been, I've made a lot of bad decisions. I'll just put it that way.
I hear you, man. I hear you.
So I was always like, fuck everybody. People are just inherently bad, and
right.
like we're all evil, and I just hate people.
Right.
Trump's gonna win, and he did. But anyway, and but this guy restored my faith. They're good. There are good people in the world.
They're far and few between, but you got to find them.
And
this
or they'll
dude, find you.
He does this, and he's like, "Hey, man, since you threw up, I want you to take another pill." I was like, "All right, cool." So he gives me the pill, but I swallow it. Because I'm 37. I don't know about this shit. I didn't realize that he put the first one under my tongue, because he did it like a fucking ninja. You know what I mean? Or, I'm sorry, I'm cussing. But anyway, he did it like a ninja. So I swallowed it, and he looks at me. He's like, "Did you just swallow that pill?" And I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "I got to give you another one. You need to put it under your tongue."
Yeah, because it's got to go to your bloodstream as quick as possible.
I was like, "Fuck." Yeah. So he gives me another one. I put it under my tongue. And then, I don't know how much time has passed since the 45-minute thing and now, but the stewardess finally comes back.
Okay.
And she's like, "We're going to land in 20 minutes. So, I don't know if 25 minutes had passed or if they sped up. Because, I don't feel like that much time had passed.
Right.
You know what I mean? But who knows when you have I really
Did you feel like what most people that go through trauma say, that you felt like a passenger on your own feet? I mean, you were just along for the ride kind of thing?
When like I said, I was frozen in my own body. So, yeah, just for that, however long the actual heart attack was or whatever happened, because I later found out I spent 4 days in the hospital, man.
Okay.
So let me go back before I get into that.
Okay.
So anyway, so they land the plane, and I'm a big dude, and this plane had little narrow aisleways, so they couldn't bring, and I'm at the back of the plane, so they couldn't bring in the gurney stretcher. It's a gurney in your life, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so they couldn't bring in the gurney. They send in, they're two paramedics, dude. They send in two humongous, like UFC fighter looking dudes, like heavyweights,
Okay.
a white and black Brock Lesnar, you know.
Okay.
Good
visual.
Yeah, sorry. So anyway, so these two, like, but with paramedic shirts and gear and shit.
Right.
And they carry my ass off, and you know how, like, as soon as you get off the plane, there's the little accordion-looking elevator that or hallway that connects to the airport.
Right. Yeah.
So, like, the second you get off, there was a gurney there. They put me on it. They don't move me. They leave me right there. Rip my damn shirt off.
Oh man.
They put I was a hairy dude, you know.
Right.
So they put all the little things on you, whatever those are called, you know.
Oh, the little sticker suction cup looking things.
Yeah, those things. So they put those all over my body, and they just start doing stuff right then and there. And then like they haven't started letting people off the plane yet, but they do at a certain point, and it's fucking weird. So anyway, so then this guy, the big black dude, like, because there's a big white dude and a big black dude.
Okay.
And I'm sorry to get their names, but you know, I just had a fucking heart attack.
Right.
So the dude's like, he's like, you just had a heart. He was like yelling at me. It was so weird, or at least it seemed like he was. He was like, you just had a heart attack. Normally we would take you to Sunset Hospital, but your ID, and somehow they had already had my ID. So
wow.
I guess they took it out of my cargo pants or whatever, out of my wallet. And he's like, but we see here you live by St. Rose. Where do you want us to take you? And the only thing I could think is, I don't have insurance, man.
Oh man.
And I'm like, and my son's there, like Devin's there in the van, waiting to pick me up. And I'm like, and I'm telling this dude, like, look, man, my kid's here. I got a van. I'll take it. Let him take me to the airport or to the hospital. And he's like, dude, I don't care if you, because I said I didn't have insurance. My kid was there. He's like, I don't care if you don't have insurance. Do you not understand? You just had a heart attack. You could die. Like, he was just like, he was being really like it was weird. It was weird, man. But because he was yelling at me, but not in an angry way. But he was very loud. You know, and
just assertive and
yes. Yeah. And the other dudes are like doing shit to me. Like by the time he's done talking to me, I have a freaking IV in me already. You know what I mean? Like before we even leave the little accordion looking thing.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Dude.
Like they got
Skyway.
Yeah, whatever. So anyways, so then the Skyway, so I don't sound like a dumbass.
The accordion thing.
Yeah, so the Skyway. So anyways, so I finally were like, and I later found out I should have went to UMC. Sorry, this is not a knock. Well, it is kind of, I guess, a knock to St. Rose. But I was like, hey, I want to be close to home. Because I don't know what's going to happen, man. I'm all depressed and shit. And like, I'd been through some stuff, and I'm getting, can or can't get into that later. But, I just was like, I just thought I thought I was gonna die. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I really did. And I was just like, I want to be close to home. So they took me to St. Rose, and now here's the shit. No, this is where this. Okay, so when they get me to the so from the Skyway.
Yeah, Skywalk.
Okay,
They both work. Skywalker.
So when the so they take me from the gurney to like this giant looking golf cart thing that the gurney can fit on.
Okay.
And then they drive me, from the airport, like, inside the terminal to an ambulance. And then they put me in the ambulance and they start like pumping me full of like morphine and shit like that, and like anti-nausea, because I guess that morphine will make you nauseous or something.
Oh yeah, so they give you
so they just immediately start treating me like as if I guess I had a massive heart attack or something. They just start like doing their job, and then they I almost said her name. Sorry. So my ex-girlfriend at the time was still my emergency contact because that breakup was fresh.
Oh man.
So yeah, I've never told you this story, Frankie.
No, I didn't hear this part. I heard
it's so weird talking to the back of your head. Man.
I know, bro.
Turn the F around. So anyways,
I've heard all the way up until you got pulled off the plane on a stretcher. So.
Okay, so they call her, and she's like, I guess like, I don't know. The look on this dude's face was just utter confusion. So he hands me the phone.
Okay.
And I'm like, I'm fucked up on morphine, so I'm trying to talk to her. And like, so basically it's like, I'm telling her like, I had a heart attack, I'm on an ambulance. I can't remember exactly when, but it's like, I wasn't speaking complete sentences, man. So she thought I was being a drama queen full of shit.
Right.
And she hung up.
Breakup, you were trying to get sympathy.
Yeah, and she hung up on me. So like, I just give the phone, I'm not even like making a big deal out of it. I just give the phone back to the dude because I'm laying there, I'm drugged out of my mind. It's a miracle I can remember this crap. And so anyways, I guess she said to call Stacy because the guy asked me, who's Stacy? And Stacy's my second ex-wife.
Okay.
And so I tell him their name so he can find it because he's got my phone, right?
Right.
So he calls her, and she was at the hospital before we got there. So I mean, she was probably way more agreeable.
Right.
And so when we got there, like, they just start doing, like, I felt like the coolest thing was how high I was on morphine, because I later found out they gave me like they gave me like a huge dose,
like more than they would a regular person.
I guess, because I'm a fat dude, and I just had a heart attack, and it was an initial thing, Yeah. But I later found, because like the amount of morphine they were giving me, like when I can start remember getting it, was an eighth as much, like literally.
Okay.
It was like
Wow.
it was crazy. So the first, however, like the entire time I was in the ER, to me, my memory is like maybe 3 minutes of that shit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and you want to hear something crazy?
I do.
The doctor was an alumni of Putnam City West. And that's probably why I remember so much that I do remember, because when he told me that, I was like, what are the fucking odds, dude? I just came here from,
That's crazy.
Yeah, right?
Dude.
It was crazy. And they couldn't figure out what was, I remember a couple things, like, so they did what's the thing called when the sonogram or ultrasound, like thing when they do when you're pregnant and they look at the
Ultrasound.
is it ultrasound?
Yeah.
So they did that to like my organs to see, like, because the way I described the pain to them, they didn't think it was my heart. They initially thought it was my gallbladder. So, and I guess I didn't. So when the doctor would ask me, I don't need the story, I needed the symptoms. Like, tell me what happened. I was like, all right, so right here,
like by your diaphragm.
Yeah. I started to feel like some weird pressure.
Okay.
That started to expand, from inside out.
Okay.
And it just kind of was gradually getting bigger and putting pressure on me. And that's why I thought it might have been gas, right?
Right. Okay.
And so they said that's really common of like the gallbladder.
Okay.
So,
like gallstones or whatever.
Yeah. So they start checking that, and they're like, "There's nothing wrong."
Okay.
So they check my liver. It turns out I'm not diabetic yet, but it turns out I have a little bit of a fatty liver, which sucks.
So you're like borderline getting there.
Yeah, I hope I got to lose some weight.
Yeah.
But they at least I don't eat sugar, and I don't drink soda, so that's probably what's kept me borderline all this time. So they're like confused, and my red blood cell count is really high, but I already knew that, and that's what makes your blood thick, right?
Right.
But they said like my white blood cell count was really high too, and they're like, that means you have an infection, but I'm not sick and I don't have a fever. You know what I mean? So and you know what? To this day, I don't know why that happened. They didn't figure that out. They did a bunch of other little tests. What they did was they just blasted me with, like, because I'm not allergic to anything. They just blasted me with like every single different antibiotic.
Right. Okay.
And it brought it down. And it was just like their goal was like, look, as long as it brings it down, who gives a shit what it was?
Right.
But I would have liked to know. That's kind of weird. So then they put me on like blood thinners and stuff because of the high red blood cell count. And like strong intravenous ones.
Right.
And then then I just like passed out, man.
Dude.
And it was crazy. And I felt like an alien. I felt like aliens had abducted me. I was there for another 3 days. So I was there like 3.5 days. And it's like test after test after test. And like I'm a big dude, but obviously clearly I like to eat. I fasted like half the time I was there, man. I ate like 2 meals there. That was it.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
And the last day was so messed up. I didn't even have to fast because they told me they were going to put a stent in my heart. And because they were going to do that, I couldn't eat. And like, so I had like family members calling, talking about flying out, and shit.
Oh, wow.
And then, so they got me prepped for this thing. And then the cardiologist, and this is like, they tell me this at like 8 a.m. You know what I mean? Because I was about to get my breakfast, which I should have got to eat. It's not fair. And they're like, no, we're going to do this procedure today. So like my dad, like, I guess my family does love me. I never talked to him, but I didn't contact him. I had no signal. My dad, my mom, my dad lives in Washington. My mom lives in North Carolina.
You and your dad have been on the outs for a long time.
Yeah. And I just visited him for the first time last Father's Day.
Nice. Good.
And my brother, who lives in L.A., all three of them had called the hospital and got through to my, I talked to them on my room phone. You know what I mean? So that was, that was pretty cool. But they all thought I was going to get this stent. So like people were talking about coming out to see, because my brother, like L.A. is like, he can drive here in like 2.5 hours because he's a maniac. And so like they don't let me eat. The cardiologist, like I get seen by like the third or fourth different doctor while I'm there, which was weird. And then to me anyway, it's probably normal. because I was at a hospital, like I'd gone in through the ER
Right.
or whatever. And I was like moved from the ER to some, I forget what it was called. It was like it's not ICU, but it was like something. It's wherever they take people who had a heart attack to observe.
Care,
it wasn't intensive. It was like an observation something.
Okay, I think it's the step below ICU.
Yeah, yes,
right?
yeah. So it was like they moved
Critical
me,
care,
but I didn't even have a damn room. I had like my buddy Eric, because a lot of people came to visit me. My buddy Eric, you know Eric.
Yeah.
He came to visit me, and he summed it up perfectly. He was like, "This looks like he said. This looks like a closet with a shower curtain."
Yeah. That is actually what it looks like. My mom actually had pancreatitis and was admitted into the same level of whatever that is, where they watch you and stuff, and it's like the step below ICU and this like. And it seems like it's the step below anything. It seems like you're like being dragged to the bottom of a ship into a makeshift hospital. Or something.
I went from from my perception, because the emergency rooms at St. Rose are really nice.
Right.
Really nice.
Right.
So they moved me from a really, really nice emergent room with my own room.
Yeah.
My like completely closed off room, my own room, to being like on the corner of a row of quote unquote rooms divided by curtains.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Where they got you laying on. I'm in there for 3 days. It was horrible. I'm laying on like they put like over the mattresses they put like some kind of foam rubber that makes you like it's so hot.
It's not. It doesn't allow any ventilation.
Right.
Yeah. It's like sitting on a leather chair in the hot sun.
But worse, because leather's porous. This stuff was not.
Right.
And they were gonna, like, the day they discharged me, they were finally like, "Oh, do you want to take a shower?" I was like, "Screw this, I'm gonna go home." I'll just. And I did. I took I took a shower until I ran out of hot water when I got home.
Yeah.
But I was there for 4 days, and they did a bunch of tests, and they did the stress test, and we also found out that in addition to the thick blood and whatever else, I have I've been overweight. I'm 37. I've been overweight since I was 18.
Yeah.
So it's 19 years, almost 20 years I've been overweight.
Right.
And they say that it's common, especially when you have bitch tits. That no, seriously, just so all you fat brothers out there, listen up, because I'm 37 and I had a heart attack. That it puts a lot of pressure on the heart. And
so if you got man boobs, you got to do something about it.
You should do something about it. I signed up for 24-hour fitness, but anyway, damn, they should give me some off my monthly fee for that, because the place is insane, ridiculous. I don't recommend them, but I do. It's a love-hate thing. But anyways, so there was a lot of stress. I don't know. I'm a dumbass. I didn't go to medical school like my, Branson Page did. But if you have the big vein, the main vein that comes out of the bottom of your heart, or artery, or whatever.
You started talking main vein. I started thinking penis.
Haha. So the weight in my torso area is like over the 20 years or 19 years is like kind of constricted it. So you combine the thick blood with the low cholesterol, and the main artery being smaller than it should.
Okay.
In the pressurized environment of an airplane, just the perfect storm is like, I heard that term a few times.
Yeah.
Type of thing. So, and I found that out because like on the fourth day or the last day that I was well enough to do a stress test, which is, I'm a big boy. So this would be hard anyway. Right. But it's like they put you on a treadmill for 8 minutes, and this treadmill is like at a huge incline, not like a gradual, like a huge,
I'm like, no, like a 30,
like a 30 degree, like at least a 30-degree incline. Yeah. It was high. It was insane.
Wow.
Yeah, 20 to 30 degrees, somewhere in there.
Wow. Yeah. Screw that.
Because it's like it literally was. It was insane. And they'd say that you have to do that because they got up, and they have, and while you're doing that, you've got all these things hooked up to you.
Right, the little
and by
suckers.
then, they've shaved, oh, God, it hurts so bad. So when they changed them from the ones that they did, they took the time to shave the spots, just the spots.
Just the spots, not your whole...
And I'm like a woolly mammoth dude. Like, I'm like, from... like
You're like a Robin Williams kind of guy?
I'm hairy all over.
Okay.
So it looks funny. Put a pin in that, and I can tell you a funny story about how I fixed that problem later.
Okay.
But, so anyway, so they got this stuff going, and then so I'm I'm a big guy. I don't even take my shirt off to have sex.
Really?
I'm in my butt.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I look like Jabba the Hutt, dude.
Oh, wow.
But hairy. But now that I'm not hairy, it's like it's horrible. So anyway, I'm like in my boxers basically.
Okay.
And there's but it was a bunch of old women, so it was cool. It was like my mom and grandma type of people. It was like 3 or 4 really old ladies. Not really. Well, I'm sorry, but elderly ladies, like 50s, 60s. I
have a question. Let me interrupt you real quick because we got to get a little more interactive, Fatbeard.
Oh, sorry.
And we call him Fatbeard, even though his name's Danny. Sorry, everybody. And he's got no beard, and he's losing weight on me. I don't know. He's gonna be skinny smooth here in a little while.
Slim Shavy is what.
Slim Shavy. That's nice. All right. So Roxanne is in the room and she's watching live, and she said, "Hey, it is awesome that you had a support system of many friends." And she said, on another note, do you think if you had insurance that things would have been different?
Oh shit.
Went differently.
Yeah, I didn't finish that story. I'm glad she brought that up.
Yeah.
So anyway, at the end, after this test, the stress test, that's when they were like, you're going to have... Okay, so it wasn't the last day, it was the second last day. They were like, you've got this abnormality in your heart, you've got to get a stent, right?
Okay.
So it was the second to last day. So then the next day, I'm waiting to get... I have to wait for the cardiologist to get there. I'm waiting. Like everybody should... Like my ex-wife shows up, my ex-girlfriend who thought I was bullshitting shows up. And not only does she show up, she mind fucked. I thought we were gonna get back together, and it was fucked up.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, dude. She was there the whole time. Sometimes she loved me, gave me kisses and shit. Like, cause and then at the very end of the day, just to kind of skip to the end, because I had a lot of other friends, like my buddy Devin Chamberlain came out, and Anthony came out, and Stephen and Amanda came out. Like a ton of people came out. You know, and Eric came out, and
awesome.
Lamar came out. A lot of people came out, but she stayed there the whole time, and she was the only one there when the cardiologist finally showed up at like 4:30 in the afternoon. And he's like, "Okay, look," and this is like almost verbatim what he says.
Okay.
He goes like, "Normally, we would put a stent in your heart, but since you don't have insurance and you're only 37,
right?"
And he takes his card out while he's saying this. He takes his card out. I would recommend that you call my office and set up a payment plan.
So he's like letting you know.
Yeah. Like
without actually saying.
Yeah. Just like that. And I'm like, fuck, okay, that's shitty. And so he leaves the room, and then my ex-girlfriend looks at me and she goes, okay, well, looks like you're going to live. I'm glad you're okay. Don't call me, I'll call you.
No shit.
Yeah, or something to that effect.
Wow.
Like basically
you
it was
don't
like
need that person in your life.
Yeah. So she left, and like so then I went from like I was pretty, that sucked. I was pretty devastated.
Yeah.
So but my kid came, my oldest, my number one came, and he picked me up. And I called and I set up an appointment. Like he told me to come in on Friday, but they couldn't see me on Friday, so I went in like the following Monday.
Okay.
And then he did a follow up. He couldn't remember who I was because I did shave in between then. Like he did not recognize me. So when I got home, from the hospital, I just I'm looking at myself in the mirror, and I'm pretty much naked, and you see all these patches where they've shaved stuff out of me,
right?
And my beard's all shorter. And I'm just like, I'm just sad anyway. So I'm like, I get out my clippers, and I have like it's almost like being baptized. I shaved like pretty much all the hair off me.
Okay.
Like I shaved like my beard, I shaved the rest of my chest and like stomach, everything that they had touched.
So it's like my filthy life has done this to me. Yeah. I want to be as clean as possible.
And then I took a shower, and I was in the shower until I ran out of hot water, kind of thing. And then I slept. I took a month off work. I'm very blessed. I'm very fortunate that I do work for myself, and then I had some money in savings, so I had, not anymore, but so I had the ability, being self-employed, to take that amount of time off of work.
Right.
But I took like a month off and just kind of stayed at home.
It must be nice.
Yeah. and no, I mean, I just needed it to heal.
Yeah, no, I hear it, bro.
And when I went to the cardiologist finally, he was like, look, and we were straight with each other. I was like, look, man, I'll try to get insurance. Because I'm not one to, I don't like to...
Yeah, no.
I don't believe in entitlement programs.
I'm the same way.
I don't want to get into it, because a lot of like my buddy Steve-O, who you and I both know, he and I've, I think we don't hang out anymore because of my opinions, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But I'm very anti food stamps, very anti welfare, very anti, all this shit. And so I've never, I was uninsured, but I didn't I never went and applied for Medicaid. I didn't abuse it and go to the emergency room for a headache or some shit like that, So, and I always felt like, and if something happened, I'm a big guy. I live, I burn the candle at both ends. I figure like something bad happens, I'll probably die,
Yeah. Yeah, I hear you, man.
And so anyway, so this happens, and I don't have insurance, so I started looking into getting it. And because of the way Obamacare is set up, they base that shit off your taxes, man. And because I went to the healthcare.gov site, and I do my taxes. In this, I'm convinced. I actually had a conversation with a buddy Michael of mine. It's on my Facebook page today.
Yeah,
I'm convinced that for similar reasons, yet on a much larger scale, this is why Donald Trump doesn't show people his tax returns. But I legally do my taxes. I own 2 businesses. I own Fatbeard LLC, which has a DBA, Fatbeard Studios, and I have customwebdesigns.biz. Which is a home-based business.
Okay.
And I've had that one since like 1998, you know.
Yeah.
And because I have those 2 businesses, and the one's a home-based business, I'm legally entitled to certain tax deductions and loopholes and shit like that.
Right.
That, you know, where I can take, and it's perfectly legal and it's fucked up. And then, like, hopefully Trump does something good. Like, I was reading his tax plan today about it, and I'd like him to close these loopholes and make it, like, if I just had a flat 15% and I didn't have to do all this fucking horse shit with my language about, you know, with all these loopholes, so I didn't pay a shit ton. Because I still, you know, when you make enough money and you're doing well, once you hit a certain, like, if I didn't have kids, man, I'd be paying thousands of dollars instead of, like, breaking even. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, and I had like, this was the first year I had I think I had like $4,700. My 2015 tax. I haven't done my 2016 yet, but I had like $4,700 in self-employment tax.
Jeez.
You know what I mean? So I forgot where I was going with that.
Yeah.
That happens to me. But so anyway, the cardiologist. Anyway, so the cardiologist was like, "Look, you're young. I'm going to put you on medication, and we're going to try to manage this." He's like, "Lose some weight." He was like, "Look, dude, like because they did all these blood tests on me. They're like, you were like, if you weren't fat, you would be like a specimen. You're like healthy, like all your shit's fine. It's weird,
just
like
the weight.
It's they're like, if you would just lose weight, you'd be fine. Like you wouldn't have any of these damn problems." So that's basically where he was at. He gave me some blood pressure medication, and you know, and I've been, you know, trying to lose weight. Next time I go to the doctor, they want to talk to me about like a weight loss surgery. I don't know if I want to do that, but
yeah, no, don't do that yet, man. There's too many other things that you could do to lose weight, dude. You already look thinner than you did a few months ago. So
yeah. It's the lack of beard.
Yeah, you weigh about 1.5 pounds less from just the beard, right?
Yeah. But you know, I've been doing. I wear this. I have this beautiful tattoo.
Let me show it.
OzArmy.com.
That is nice.
Let me show it. Hold on one second. I got it. Okay, there we go. Here we go. Nice.
And I have to ruin it with this watch thingy because I have to monitor my damn heart rate because of this heart attack that I had.
Oh man.
Sorry.
There you
Anyway,
go.
so it's like right now, I'm getting all excited and stuff. I'm up to a 97.
97. Just
That's
well,
great.
it is hot in here.
Yeah,
I'll say
yeah,
that.
yeah.
And he
I'm
does do a
cold.
lot. And you've been talking about
telling
having
him,
a heart attack, so I'm sure it's got you anxious.
Yeah. No, so I'm good. I'm good though.
Yeah.
But it's not horrible. But no, I used to have actually. Hold on. let me
And
tell
she's
you. 'Cause it
just to
tells
let you
me-
know, Danny,
Uh-huh.
Jessy Meadows sitting right next to you. She's certified to give CPR. So.
Oh. Well, in that
And
case,
you might want to try to have a heart attack.
yeah. I don't know what to say to that.
Right? It'd be the only time that my wife could get on top of you and put her lips on you, okay? As if you had a heart attack. So
Yeah, fair enough. Well,
Ready?
no, I'd rather not. Heart attacks suck. I don't recommend it. I mean, you're a beautiful woman. You know, any man
you.
would be lucky, but yeah, it's not worth it.
No, I wouldn't think so. I wouldn't think that'd be worth it.
So yeah, well, Danny, dude, that is a crazy story, and I'm glad you're still alive. I'm glad you're
Yeah,
still
it's
with us
scary.
because it would suck really bad if you died. Because I love you, and I hope that I'm glad, and I hope you can get the weight off and get back to good, dude. Because you are too young to be tripping on shit like this.
Right?
Yeah, man. Let's see. Where else did I want to go with this? Dude.
Well, that was kind of a sidetrack. I didn't think we were going to talk about personal stuff at all. I thought we were going to do like.
Yeah, no, I'm
fat
glad we
beard
did
stuff.
though, because you know what? Because a lot of people need to hear heart attack stories, and here's why I'll tell you that is because a lot of us, when we start advancing in years and shit, we start wanting to know the actual stories. Because I'm sure that a lot of people can agree, and I don't know if you can attest to this because you were at such a young age that you probably weren't really tripping on heart attack stuff.
Right.
But sometimes you'll just be sitting there wondering if you're having a heart attack, And anytime you Google anything, it's like, it says the same basic stuff, you know? You're going to feel like you're going to throw up. You can't fucking breathe. It feels like an elephant sitting on your chest, blah, 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 blah.
I try to stay away from self-diagnosis, man. You try to because exactly what you're saying.
Yeah, but see, the thing is, though, is like you want to know while you're starting to feel a little weird, not especially like when you're tripping on cancers and shit like that. You're like, okay, I get it. Like once you had full-blown cancer and were diagnosed, this is how it felt. But what did it start as? Like, what was the first steps?
I'm sorry that I never worry about cancer because I smoke so much weed.
Yeah,
that, like I'll never get cancer.
Right. Well,
I will never get cancer.
It's not on you. Sorry.
Okay.
But yeah, dude, the thing about it is like I don't know if smoking weed is really the cure for cancer as much as Phoenix Tears is.
Oh well, no, yeah, Phoenix Tears. But here's the thing, like when you cough, think about it. I'm just gonna. I could be wrong. I'll put it out there to your audience.
I'm listening to yeah.
But think how like sometimes when you smoke weed and you cough, right?
Right.
Maybe it's doing you good. It's like an expectorant. It's helping you get that shit out. Because like you can't get lung cancer from smoking weed. You can't. Nobody in the recorded history of mankind, humankind, has ever died from smoking weed. What's the worst that's gonna happen to you? You're gonna pass the fuck out.
Right.
Maybe you eat too much.
Right.
Get some bitch tits. You know what I mean?
Man. Speaking of which, those of you that know, you can count the times I've ever been high on probably two hands. And most of the times was with this guy.
Guilty as charged.
And one time I made the mistake though because I was in a down and out phase, and I was at Shakespeare's.
Oh my God!
And he came up to me, and there was a what was going on over there? What was the event?
It was a Walking Dead party.
Walking Dead party. Yeah. That's right. And he's like, "Hey man, come down." And I was like, I want to show support, just like him showing up to the radio show last minute. We support each other for the most part whenever we can. Yeah. So I jumped in the car and I came down there, even though I was feeling down and out. And I just figured I would throw back a few alcoholic beverages and play some, gamble some, and hopefully win some money and just drown my sorrows, kind of shit, and be around good friends.
Yeah.
So
I think Eric was there that night too, right?
I think he might have been. Yeah.
He got there late, but I'm just pretty sure he was there.
Right. I'm not positive of the events of that night, and I'll share why, I guess. So we're sitting there, and I'm playing the machines, and I'm drinking a little bit and whatnot. And Danny comes in, and he's like, "Hey man, I got a Jolly Rancher if you want one." And I'm like, "I don't eat candy. I don't eat candy, bro." And he's like,
"That's back when I was doing that."
He's like a medical
Superbuds website.
Yeah. Jolly Rancher. It's got weed in it. And I was like, oh, and because I was like in such a torn up state because of the breakup that I had gone through.
Such a horrible friend.
And right. And I'm like, okay, whatever, and he knows that I don't smoke weed like barely ever, and he knows that my tolerance is like really low. So he's like, well, I'll just give him one of the whatever he said. What I don't even know what the measurement factor is. It's like a 2.5 or something, like whatever you said, 25.
Yeah, it was 25 milligrams.
Okay, yeah.
Which is like, I don't. So the ones they sell here in Nevada are only 10 apiece. So,
okay.
So my bad, brother.
Okay.
My bad.
So I ended up eating this thing, and I was fine, and me and him were shooting the shit, and he was hosting a show, and I was perfectly content in my game, and I was playing the stuff. And the next thing I know, they had brought me a plate of fries. No, you had given me the rest of your fries, so I ate this whole big plate of fries, and I'm sitting there, and I'm playing the machines, and the next thing that I know, the machines start looking like foreign to me, and I don't know, like. I know you smoke on a very regular basis, but does it ever catch you, like take you aback, like by surprise, how high you just got?
Sometimes, man.
Yeah.
Depends on the strain.
So I was in one of those moments because I was looking at the machine, and all of a sudden, the next thing you know, I just have tunnel vision. I'm like, whoa. And I'm like very aware that I'm aware. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like just the fact that I'm aware that I'm aware. And I mean, I'll tell you right now, I'm gonna make a long story short because I don't really like to. I don't really condone drug stories. Like I know I have friends that do drugs and shit, but it's not my thing.
I'm a horrible friend. I peer pressure like a motherfucker.
And it's not my thing. And I was down and out. So I was looking for an escape, and boy, did I get one, because I stayed high for 48 hours, dude.
I heard about that.
And I was like literally in bed just going,
you disappeared on me is the thing that night. Like, because I went and I can't remember, I was working the event. And then sometimes, people know I smoke, so they're like, hey man, you want to smoke? So I disappear a couple times. Yeah. And like one of the times I disappeared, you disappeared. You left.
I did.
And I was like, where the fuck did Frankie go?
Right.
I was like, oh shit, and then I felt horrible because I knew you were high.
Well, the thing is that I went out into the parking lot and turned my camera on myself like an idiot, and I started freestyle rapping.
Oh my god.
And I looked at it the next day, and it was the most outlandish, horrible shit that you'd ever seen. But I thought
so you recorded it.
I recorded it.
Oh wow.
I have it, but I'm never willing to share it. But I have it as a reminder not to ever do that shit again.
That's
so
awesome.
yeah, because I thought what I was saying was so epic, dude. Like at the time, and I just had that look on my face, like this is the best shit that I've ever spit in my life.
Yeah.
And it was horrible. It was horrible, god awful horrible.
Oh my god.
So let's see, what else are we doing here? Jessy Meadows. Jessy Meadows.
Yeah, let's get it back on that.
Let's get it back on the hot girl.
Yeah.
What's up, hot girl?
Not much. Sorry, it was
Okay, and so back to Fatbeard. No, I'm just
No,
kidding.
actually,
like, okay, I'm really hungry,
Yes,
everybody. And
you
I'm
may excuse
out.
yourself. You know where the restroom is?
yeah, I'll be back.
Okay, it's down the hallways.
Yeah, it's where Casey's was.
Yeah, it's cavernous, so yeah. Okay, so Jess, we're gonna excuse Danny here because he's got to relieve himself. So he's been drinking some alcoholic wine, and her and I don't drink, so we've just been like sitting here going, whatever. Okay, so did you have a story that you wanted to talk about?
Not necessarily this episode. We can pick it up on Tuesday and can get into my hair if you haven't noticed.
Oh yeah, she's a blonde now. Wow, what the hell, man? We missed all that. Well, partially blonde, and that brings us to why we have Danny from Fatbeard Studios in here right now, Fatbeard LLC, pardon me, and that is that we had a girl, Kirsten. What's her last name?
Creel.
Creel. Okay. Creel? Is it Creel?
Yeah.
Creel, right? Yeah. Okay. And she's with Neverland Parties, and she's also a hairdresser, and she saw our episode where we were asking people to please come and make an attempt at just fixing Jess's hair because it was such a mess. And she was nice enough to come over and do that, and we were supposed to finish the job here today on the show. However, Kirsten ended up catching the flu, so we hope she feels better, and we'll welcome her back whenever she starts to feel better. And we still haven't figured out, or I should say Jess hasn't figured out whether or not she wants to go. What color are you thinking about going? Because originally we said we wanted blonde, but what did you change it to?
I was thinking like a teal blue. Because I used box black color on my hair, it's got kind of a green tint to it when she tried to pull the color out.
That happens for sure, yeah.
I'm like, well, why don't I just go all like blue, green, like mermaid hair type
like
thing?
an aqua kind of thing?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I had my hair aqua one time. Did you know that? There's only one existing picture of me with aqua hair, and I think it's in a hard drive that ended up taking a dump.
Oh.
But yeah, it was like this aquamarine hair, and I know like as a guy, you're not supposed to like really have that color. But I was trying to dye it royal blue, and what ended up happening was I got this weird feminine aquamarine color. But I just rocked it for a couple of weeks anyway because I was like, hey, this is what I got, and I went out and I actually got a lot of good responses off of it, so that was kind of cool. But yeah, you have a friend that has always has her hair done really cool, and it would be cool if we could get something like that done to you. I know they're expensive as hell, though.
I have no idea what Gracie pays, but
Yeah.
she always has the most amazing hair, like the hair that you see passed around on Facebook. You know, those like LED Bible clips. I mean, it's just amazing, and I'm so jealous. So yeah, I would like to just do something kind of like that.
Kind of like that?
Yeah.
But more towards the like aquamarine thing, like an ocean washed aquamarine. What are we talking here?
Like a teal blue aqua color. I don't see anything to really compare it to, but
George Alvarez said a shout out to my boys at Double Shots. What's up, George? How you doing? And also, since you left, Danny, I didn't get to read out loud to you that Cleo Miller said to you, I'm glad that you're okay, Danny. So just so you know that you have people out there that were worried about you and glad that you're doing okay. Right. So, how was your bathroom trip, sir? You found your way back, I see.
Very relieved, but I'm out of wine.
You're out of wine?
Yeah.
Like completely out of wine?
Completely out.
we're almost out of time, so so there we go.
So perfect. We can go outside and I can infect your
Right.
morals some more.
Danny, I really wanted to thank you for coming out and saving our show. And before we go off the air, I want you to plug everything that you need to plug. But I first wanted to say, I've known you a long time, and we've always supported each other in everything that we do, dude. And it's always going to be that way. And I appreciate you coming out and saving the day. And I'm really glad that you didn't die, because I'd rather have you on my show than standing over your grave. For sure.
Fair enough.
Yeah. But other than that, dude, thank you for sharing your heart attack story, dude, because I honestly do think that is an important story to hear, even though people watching it might think it'd be a little long-winded. But you get into your stories though, and we appreciate it.
And I smoke, and so
right.
I lose track
of time. Right.
Yeah.
That's the big one with me, dude. Whenever I do indulge, which is hardly ever, I lose absolute track of time. Like, and I'm talking to the extent where I will like fight you over how long it's actually been. I had a boss of mine took over my DJing skills at this place that I used to work at. I guess I can say the name because it no longer exists, but it was Golden Palm. Mm-hmm. And I worked there, and I had indulged, and I ended up passing out on the floor because he said, "Hey man, you're in no condition to work." And this is what a cool place I worked at, because my boss was like, "Just go ahead and lay down on the floor," because we had a DJ booth. So I was hidden from the rest of the crowd. So he was like, "Just lay down on the floor and I'll do your job for you." And I said, "Okay, thank you, I appreciate it." And I laid down and I went to sleep, and I woke up what I thought was 8 hours later, and everybody was still partying in there, and he was still doing my job, which sometimes would happen if we were having a really good night.
Right.
So I woke up and I went, "What the fuck are you still doing here, man?" And he's like, "You've been laying on the ground for 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
What the?
And I said, "No way in hell."
Right.
I was willing to like fight him over the fact that 8 hours had passed.
Oh wow! You just felt so well rested.
I did, and I lost all track of time. I had a big long dream. I went somewhere.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Well, that's how crazy the mind is, man. That shit can happen quick.
Yeah, man. Yeah. But again, I am very grateful for you coming in and sharing your near-death experience with us. You didn't see any like angels or any kind of thing like that, did you?
No, man. I'm going to hell.
Oh wow! Did you see any demons? No. Okay. So as always, we're gonna sign off here. But this time we're gonna let Danny plug all of his projects and anything else that you might want to tell Danny. We probably got we went over, but it doesn't matter. We'll give you like another 10 minutes to go ahead.
Oh, I don't need that much time.
Okay. Hold on 1 second. Let me switch to you. Okay. Here we go. There, you're on camera.
All right, so I guess the next thing I have coming up is at Shakespeare's on February 12th. We're doing Walking Dead viewing party, or I'm sorry, the Watching Dead.
Yeah, be
the
careful
Watching
with that.
Dead viewing party.
Right.
Where the cast of Evil Dead the musical will be there in costume. We'll be giving away some stuff, and we'll have a good time watching a show that I'm not supposed to name that I already named, so you know what's up. And then, if you want to check out my work, I need to update my website, but it's www.fatbeard.vegas. Some of my projects in town include Depressed Monsters, depressedmonsters.com. My buddy Ryan Brunny doing some good stuff over there. Batman.Vegas, that's another one. Critical Care Comics.Vegas, that's another one. CosmicComics.Vegas, CheeseBoyComics.com, seems to be a theme going on there. So just check out look me up on Facebook, Fatbeard LV. It's the same on Twitter and Instagram, although I don't do any of that shit that much. So
right.
Yeah, I guess that's really it. I'm doing some exciting, like I'm redoing the CSI Experience website. I was working on that today.
Nice.
I just launched a vegan diet
there you go.
website.
You know Jessy Meadows is vegan, right?
Oh, I did not. You're vegan.
Yeah.
Oh, well, vegandiet.vegas. I just launched that. So
for how long? 15 years now?
Yeah,
So,
wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I should
Since 2005.
Oh, wow. And, gosh, I can't think off the top of my head, it's last minute stuff, but, thank you.
Dude, thank you, man.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
Seriously, dude. You saved the show.
Oh, Oz Army. Yeah, I got to give a shout out to my boy Oz.
Okay.
Tattoo. Look at that. A tattoo.
Oz Army.
OzArmy.com.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm redoing the Trip Ink tattoo website, but it's not done yet. They just hired me, so.
Oops, sorry about that.
Oh, it's good.
Dope, dude. Man, well, dude, again, thank you so much for coming and saving the show, because honestly, once we had our cancellation, we had no script or anything, and you came in with a lot of story to tell. So, and I really do appreciate it.
No problem.
The show must go on, as they say. So, thank you for joining us, everybody. Don't forget, we'll be here on Tuesday at 6 p.m. We're here Tuesdays and Fridays at 6 p.m. Always at 6 p.m. Thank you guys so much for watching.
Please like and share.
Please like and share. Yeah, absolutely. Please like and share. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. And goodbye to Jessy Meadows, my lovely co-host and wife.
Good night, everybody.